Hey everyone, this is Paul with Tuts Plus, and you're watching the Getting Started with Android course. In this lesson, we're going to expand on this gallery section that we've made so that when you click on one of the thumbnails, it will open into another activity that will display a larger version of the image as well as a caption. So let's go to Android Studio, and we're going to go to Zoo, App, Source, Main, Res, and under Layout, let's create a new file called activity_gallery_detail. We'll go to the text tab, and we're going to need to kind of copy what we did with exhibit detail, where we put in a toolbar. So let's copy the toolbar section, and we'll paste that right here into the linear layout. And then below that, we're going to create a relative layout, and we'll give it a width of match parent and a height of match parent. And the reason we're using this relative layout here is that we have the linear layout that will stack a toolbar and then our content section. And within that content section, we're going to want to place an image that takes up as much of the available room as it needs, as well as a text view that will float on top of that so that we can display our caption text. So let's go ahead and add in our image view. We'll give this a match parent and match parent width and height. We'll give this an ID of image, and then we're going to give this a scale type of fit center. And then below that, we'll add in our text view. So we'll say text view, match parent width, wrap content height. We will give this an ID of caption, and then we will add in some styles. So let's give this a background of AA000000. So this will give it a semi-transparent black background. And then we're going to add a text color, and we'll use Android color. And if you'll notice, let's see here. There we go. There's a fair amount of colors that are predefined by Android. So white, transparent, a set of hollow colors, black, some primary colors. We're just going to go ahead and use white. So we'll have that in there. And let's add in some padding just to make this a little bit cleaner. Let's say 4 dp, just so our text is not up against the edges of the screen. And we'll give this a text size of 16 sp. So when that's all set, we can go ahead and close this layout file. And we're going to go back to Zoo, App, Source, Main, Java, our package, and activities. And we're going to create a new Java class. We'll call this Gallery Detail Activity. This will extend action bar activity. And then we're going to add in our onCreate. And the first thing we'll do is set content view r.layout from the tutsplus.zoo r file .activity gallery detail. And we'll use toolbar. Toolbar is equal to a casted toolbar. Find view by ID r.id.toolbar. And then we'll use set support action bar as our toolbar. Then we'll use get support action bar dot set display home as up enabled, and we'll set that to true. And this will give us our arrow in the toolbar, just like we had with our exhibits detail screen. And once the toolbar is all set, we will need to start manipulating the image view and text view that we have. So let's go ahead and create instances for that. So we'll say private text view mCaption text view. Let's give that a capital V there. We'll import text view, and then private image view mImage view, and we'll import image view. And then let's initialize those. So mCaption text view is equal to a text view. Find view by ID r.id.caption, and then mImage view is equal to an image view. Find view by ID r.id.image. And then let's go ahead and add in some values to pass data into this activity. So we'll use public static final string extra image is equal to, and we'll just pass in the value of extra image. And then public static final string extra caption is equal to extra caption. So this looks a little similar to what we did with the exhibit detail screen, except we're using two values, and we're going to pass in the image string and the caption string directly rather than passing in the entire object. So let's come back to on create, and we'll say if getIntent is not equal to null and getIntent dot getExtras is not equal to null, which means that there were extras placed in with this intent. We're going to see if getIntent dot getExtras dot contains key extra underscore image, which means that the image value was passed in with this intent. We'll say Picasso dot with. We'll pass in the context of this for the activity. We'll load in getIntent dot getExtras dot getString. We'll pass in the key of extra image, and we'll load that into image view. And then we'll also have if getIntent dot getExtras dot contains key extra caption. Then we'll say mCaption text view dot set text to getIntent dot getExtras dot getString extra caption. So this will populate our information within this view. Once this activity is ready, we can go back to gallery fragment, and we need to set it so that it's listening for clicks on these thumbnails. So next to fragment in the main line where we define the class name and what it extends, we're going to say implements on item click listener, and we're going to use the android.widget.adapter view version of it. We'll go to the red light bulb, implement methods, and we will implement this on item click method. We will come back to on view created now, and we'll associate this listener with our grid view. So mGridView.set on item click listener. We'll pass the word this, and we're also going to want to use mGridView.set draw selector on top, and we'll set that to true so that we have a visual feedback when we actually click on one of these thumbnails, so that the user knows something is happening as they click on these thumbnails. So if we go back down to on item click, we're now going to define a gallery image as image is equal to parent.getItemAtPosition. We'll pass in the position. We also need to cast this over to a gallery image, and we'll create a new intent. Call it intent is equal to new intent, and we'll pass in getActivity for the context, and then gallery detail activity.class for its destination. We'll say intent.putExtra, and we'll use gallery detail activity.extra image. We'll say image.getImage to get the URL for our image that we will pass over to our detail activity. And then we'll use intent.putExtra gallery detail activity.extra caption, and we'll use image.getCaption. Finally, we will use start activity, and we'll pass in our intent, and this will start up the detail activity when you click on one of the thumbnails within our gallery. So since we did add in a new activity, we also need to go to app, source, main, and then Android manifest.xml, and we need to add in a new activity node. So we'll go ahead and say activity, and we'll give it the name of gallery detail activity. We'll say that parent activity name is for main activity. And then we also need to add in this node for parent activity for things that are before API 16. And there is one issue that we'll run into now. If you click on the up arrow within the toolbar, it'll recreate main activity, and it'll go to the list of exhibits fragment rather than the fragment that we were just on. So we need to come back to main activity, and we need to add in a new value here, and it'll be Android launch mode, and we just want to use the value of single top so that there will only be one instance of main activity available even if they hit that back arrow. So with that all set, let's go ahead and hit run. We'll hit OK, and then we'll go back to our emulator. We'll go to the gallery section, and as we click on the thumbnails, You'll now notice that we have our caption as well as the image. What we can also do is float this caption to the bottom of the screen. So let's go back to the layout file under Res, Layout, Gallery Detail, and then under this text view, we'll just go ahead and say that this is line parent bottom. We'll say true, and we'll run this again. We'll hit OK, and then back in the emulator, we'll go back to the gallery section. We'll click on one of these thumbnails. Now the caption is floated down to the bottom. So we hit the up arrow. We should be able to click on different sections and see the detail images as well as new captions based off of whichever item we've clicked on. And that's pretty much it for the gallery section. So we'll come back, we'll add in some new styles and clean it up a little bit just to add polish later on with the app. But as far as functionality goes, we are all done. So in the next lesson, we're going to start getting our map section put together by first going out to the Google Development Console and getting an API key so that the app will no longer crash when we go to the map section. So I will see you in the next lesson.